Let me film you, Silky, a sec. How do you feel you've been dealt with? Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Right, we've just been in contact with our control. Okay, basically this area here, okay, is private property.
Sorry about the smoke.
Property. Okay, so basically it's security don't want you filming here. Okay, then you're not allowed to film it.
Sure.
Because it's private property.
But is
obviously, if you do start resisting, then you're obstructing. It does become a police matter. So, fortunately, if security don't want you filming here, then they'll have to ask you to leave.
Can you quote us the law, or
do they have the official documents? Because how do you guys know that they're telling you the truth?
We've just done through our channels. That's right.
Oh, so all right. So the police have checked. So, where does this corporate land end? Is it at the gates over there?
I can find out for you.
Because what we just want is just to be away from traffic.
It lines up with St. Paul's. St. Paul's is private property as well.
Yeah. Well, there's a gate. You know that big gate where you enter Paternoster over there. Outside that gate, is that okay if we film there?
No, that's still private property because that's part of St. Paul's. All of St.
On the
Paul's.
pavement? If we go on the pavement by the road? It's all private property.
St. Paul's, you know where the bollards, the big posts are? That's where the borderline is for.
All they've asked you at the moment is not to film here.
Okay. No.
Okay? Obviously, you don't go around filming in their
Sure.
presence.
Yeah.
So that's just gonna, just winding them up basically.
Okay, what we'll do,
If you go
in the interest of
outside-
peace and love, because you guys have been super cool, we'll go out and we'll stop filming here and take our project outside.
By all means, contact.
Okay, I'm here with Charles Farrier, and you've been introduced by someone behind me as the UK's premier authority against surveillance, CCTV, the police state and so forth. So what we have here on video is the leader of the Rebel Alliance. Charles, could you please introduce yourself and just explain a bit what you do and why you do it?
I'm Charles Farrier from No CCTV. We're a campaign group we set up in 2007 just to try and get people to think about what CCTV is, try and educate people and help people actually campaign against cameras, to stop just accepting that these somehow are some magical panacea that's going to solve all the world's problems, and to think carefully about, is there another truth in there somewhere?
Yeah. What other truth do you think there might be, Charles?
Well, the first other truth, the big elephant in the room that no one seems to spot, is the fact that there have been studies into whether these cameras are actually any good. The Home Office, the police, academics, they've all looked at this stuff, and every time they've done a report that's been checked and that is of a certain standard, it always comes out the same. They do not do anything in reducing or preventing or solving crime. So therefore there's something else they're about, and we do know what they do. We're starting to learn what they do. They destroy society, they fracture society, they create fear, they decrease trust. People no longer have personal responsibility to actually live their own lives. We need people to be in communities, to talk to each other, to deal with our own problems, not fall back on some distant authority figure that isn't going to do anything anyway.
No, absolutely. I've got some personal experience of how CCTV totally failed me. I was in Waitrose, as we all know. For the viewers abroad, Waitrose is an expensive, I'd say, middle-class supermarket in Britain. And I locked my bike inside Waitrose, and then the bike got stolen under CCTV. I reported it. The police wrote to me and said, oh yeah, we got the guy stealing your bike on CCTV, but the footage quality isn't good enough for a conviction. So then I wrote to Waitrose and I said, why have you got CCTV at low res when the police can't use it as evidence? And they wrote back saying our CCTV complies to certain health and safety standards.
Well, there's more to it than that anyway. I mean, the offence of theft, having somebody on film stealing a bike isn't the offence of theft. That, in law, that won't go.
All that is footage of someone taking a bike.
You have to have the person with the bike outside the shop for that offence to be made out.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult offence to make out. So the CCTV is just theatre.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard. That's why if you steal something in a shop, the store guard has to go out the shop after you, stop you in the street and get you there. They can't get you inside the shop because the offence of shoplifting doesn't take place inside the shop.
Charles, a little bit more about some studies you say you've seen. Does CCTV lower crime?
No, there's no way on earth it lowers crime. The most comprehensive study done was by the Campbell Collaboration Review. It was funded by the Home Office and the National Policing Improvement Agency. It published in December 2008. It got some media coverage in 2009. That said, CCTV has no significant effect on crime. That was the key statement in that report.
So if it's now proven by official documents scientifically that CCTV has no effect on reducing crime, why is our government implementing a total surveillance grid of CCTV cameras?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. And the thing we can definitely say is the stated aim of the policy does not work, and yet they continue with the policy. Now, in any other policy, can you think of a policy that they would implement the policy, check it years later, find it doesn't work, and say, well, we'll keep doing the policy? No. So what that suggests to me is that is not the aim. The stated aim is not the true aim. We don't know what the aim is because we only have the stated aim. But the stated aim is not being achieved, and therefore there's got to be something else behind it, which we're not privy to.
My personal opinion is that power and control, just like heroin, you can never have enough, you can never get enough. Once you're become rich or powerful or controlling, you can never have enough control. So I think it might be dysfunction spiraling out of control.
Absolutely. I mean, the people in power, the people implementing these things, they don't even think about this stuff. They just do it automatically. Absolutely, they're flexing their muscles. The state will never give up control voluntarily. This is a policy which the public actually say they want. This is the incredible thing. The media have sold it. The public have bought into it. And what's actually happened is this. First of all, they said to the public, do you want CCTV? It's going to save your lives. The public weren't really sure, maybe they just sold it. Now, they use the fact the public want it because they bought the lie to say, well, now we have to do it because the public wants it. But it's this loop where they convince the public they want it.
They train the public.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're doing it not because they want to do it, but because the public wants it. The politicians will say this time and time again. We're doing it because the public wants it. That's why we're doing it.
And Charles, why, as a great coincidence, were all the CCTV cameras on the July the 7th London bombings? Why have we not seen any footage of these alleged terrorists running through tube stations, boarding trains, if they did?
Well, absolutely. When it comes to terrorism, CCTV suddenly moves into this whole different sphere where we're not allowed to know what happened or where it goes, or we can't analyse it. We can't ever check that footage because of national security.
Yeah.
And always this guise of national security is protecting us. I mean, if we look at the terrorism argument, one of the things always forgotten with terrorism and CCTV is on the 21st of July, there were some alleged attempts to bomb some tube stations.
Yeah.
The next day, they shot a man dead.
The Brazilian,
It's the Brazilian. Now, when you check the IPCC Stockwell 1 report, they explain how that shooting took place.
Yeah.
It took place because they took images from CCTV at one of the tube stations. They distributed those images to the police, who used them to survey a flat where they thought the suspect they were looking for lived. It ended up Jean-Charles Menezes lived there.
Yeah.
They looked at the CCTV stills and the man walking down the street, and they radioed in back to base, it's a good possible likeness.
Good possible likeness.
Was killed because of a good possible likeness to CCTV images. And yet we never hear that mentioned.
No.
It's in the Stockwell 1 report, it can be checked, it's fact, and yet we're always told it was an essential part of helping with terrorism.
Yeah.
But there's an example where people fall foul of it.
Yeah. And just in conclusion, as the film The Watchmen stated, who's watching the watchers, Charles?
Well, absolutely. We need everybody to watch the watchers. We need people to get up and start fighting this stuff. Go to council meetings, go and campaign against cameras in your area. We need to be the people watching the watchers. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time, Charles. Appreciate it.